Gregory beeped in approval. You sure you're not just stuck in a laundry coma? Either way, we're going to save the world. Far below the mountain, in the unraveled lands, the hemmed one stirred in his sleep. His eye opened. He felt a ripple in the seams. The bearer has found the pantaloons, he hissed. And with that, the war of fabrication was about to begin. Let me know when you're ready for Section 5. The Chronicles of Grindelwood, the lint-powered prophecy. Section 5, the rise of the hemmed one. Somewhere beneath the Everfold Mountains, in a damp cavern lined with half-stitched banners and coat hangers bent into sigils of doom, the hemmed one stirred from his century-long slumber. His body was made of cursed textiles, a patchwork of vintage turtlenecks, velour jumpsuits, and one hauntingly sequined bodysuit that radiated sheer malevolence. He rose from his nest of tangled extension cords and unopened laundry detergent pods, muttering darkly. It has begun. The pantaloons have bonded. A servant/chair named Ottoman scurried to his side. Ottoman was literally an ottoman, sentient, loyal, and covered in suspicious gravy stains. Sire, the threads tremble. Prophecy stirs like a cat in a laundry basket. The hemmed one sneered. Then assemble the fabricators. We weave war. Elvira didn't realize how heavy destiny could be until she tried to walk down a spiral staircase in magical trousers that kept whispering outfit suggestions. Every step echoed with prophecy and mild fashion critique. Gregory the shopping cart clattered beside her, still reeling from the fact that she now wore the fabled quantum pantaloons, legendary legwear that could fold time, repel stains, and detect nearby drama. So, Gregory asked, trying to keep pace, what exactly do the pantaloons do besides sparkle and radiate morally complex charisma? They seem to adjust reality around me, Elvira said as a pebble tried to trip her, only to be unexisted by the pants. Also, they just suggested I change careers to interdimensional weave night. Gregory beeped. I support it. Can we get dental with that? Before they could discuss wardrobe-based healthcare, a strange humming filled the air. Clouds above unzipped. Reality began to ripple like a hot quilt. From the skies descended a blimp made entirely of stitched-together weather balloons and screaming scarfs. Its banner read, "The hemming begins." A voice echoed from above. Elvira Cabbagestock, return the pantaloons or face unraveling. The blimp fired a warning shot. An enormous knitting needle the size of a whale, narrowly missing the ground and piercing a tree, which immediately developed a cable-knit bark pattern. Okay, Elvira muttered. We've definitely escalated into knitting-based terrorism. Time to run. The blimp released its cargo. Dozens of drop-stitched paratroopers, twisted beings made of pilled sweaters and anger. Their leader, a heavily stitched trench coat named Major Lapel, landed first, his buttons gleaming with malice. You don't deserve the pants, threadborn pretender. Oh great, a coat with a grudge, Elvira muttered. Gregory whirred to life. Initiating evasive protocol, Operation Strategic Panic. The chase was absurd. Trees began quilting themselves into defensive barriers. Birds wearing berets screamed cryptic laundry instructions as they flew in reverse. Elvira turned a corner and tripped into a bush that loudly accused her of shrinking it in the wash. The pantaloons kicked in. Time folded. Space wobbled. And Elvira blinked herself straight out of that moment, only to land in the middle of a puppet show being hosted by the secret society known as the Button Order. And so, brave children, the pantaloons will one day be worn by the chosen one, announced the sock puppet narrator before noticing her. The audience gasped. One child dropped their snack box. A monk wearing 50 buttons and no pants bowed before her. It is you. The lint has chosen. Hi, Elvira said, brushing leaves out of her hair. Sorry, I just dodged a trench coat and fell through narrative structure. Who are you people? We are the Button Order, the monk said solemnly. We guard the secret of the seamstone, the artifact that can stabilize the power of the pantaloons. Without it, the pants will slowly consume your mind and turn your thoughts into wardrobe-themed riddles. That already happened with my 6th grade math teacher, Gregory mumbled. Never recovered after Casual Friday. The monk nodded gravely. To find the seamstone, you must travel to the edge of the ironing world. There lies the legendary fortress of Wrinkelstein, home to the Iron Sages. Let me guess, Elvira said. More trials? The monk blinked. Actually, no. They just ask for snacks. I'm in. Back aboard the blimp, Major Lapel growled at a map. She slipped through a wrinkle again. The hemmed one appeared via static-riddled embroidery hologram. Do not fail me again, Lapel. She draws closer to the seamstone. I'll double our scarf deployment. The The hemmed one snarled. You'll triple it. And send the Zip's successor. A shadow stirred from the corner of the blimp's control room. It was slimmer, sleeker, a zipper polished to a mirror sheen. I am Velcro, it whispered, peeling off its own name tag. And I stick to everything. The path to Wrinkelstein was strewn with broken irons, melted measuring tape, and one overly dramatic scarecrow screaming about fabric tyranny. After bribing several grumpy raccoons with lint-covered granola bars, Elvira and Gregory arrived at the great fortress carved entirely out of ironing boards. The iron sages greeted them with open hems. They wore nothing but bathrobes and wisdom. Sister Elvira, said the head sage, a wiry old woman with curlers in her beard. You have journeyed far. The seamstone lies beneath the fortress, guarded by the 3 folded guardians. Elvira groaned. Why is everything always in 3s? It's a narrative law. Also, it fits nicely in a laundry cycle. The first guardian was a spinning dryer spirit named Tumblelord. It challenged her to a dance-off. Elvira won by default when Gregory dropped a sick beat, using only his rusted wheel and a hubcap. The second guardian was Saint Archibald the Creased, who demanded a heartfelt monologue about her most awkward outfit. She delivered a powerful confession about an orange corduroy jumpsuit she wore to prom. Saint Archibald wept and vanished in a puff of static. The third guardian was herself. Literally. A mirror version of Elvira stepped out from a curtain, wearing darker eyeshadow and a cape made of expired coupons. You think pants make you chosen? Mirror Elvira scoffed. You're still just a girl who fell into a prophecy because she touched a sock in a broom closet. Elvira looked at her reflection. Maybe, but I'm the girl still here. She hugged her mirror self. The copy blinked, then softened. The cape turned into a towel. She nodded and disappeared. The ground trembled. The wall opened. And there, on a pedestal of pressed lava rock, rested the seamstone, glowing with soft golden light and the faint scent of lemon detergent. She reached out. The pantaloons vibrated with approval. Power surged. Time bent. And in the distance, the hemmed one screamed. Let me know when you're ready for Section 6. The Chronicles of Grindelwood, the lint-powered prophecy. Section 7. The Great Return Policy. Peace, as it turns out, is fragile, especially when it involves sentient trousers and leftover apocalypse energy. For a few days, Grindelwood basked in harmony. The Button Order hosted an all-you-can-fold picnic. The Iron Sages offered free pressing sessions. Gregory was appointed Supreme Chancellor of Rolling Carts, a role he took with surprising gravity and a decorative traffic cone hat. Elvira, now heralded as the Stitchling, received awkward gift baskets from nearly every tribe. Perfumed yarn from the Scarf Nomads, a ceremonial hanger from the Cotraiths, and a vibrating sock with no apparent purpose, later identified as a rogue prophecy fragment looking for a host. But beneath all the thank-you cards and celebratory ironing, Elvira couldn't shake a nagging feeling. I feel like we missed something, she muttered, standing on a balcony made of used receipts and belt buckles. Gregory beeped once, then twice. You're not wrong. Velcro's been whispering in his sleep again. Something about return policies and loopholes. And the seamstone, she asked. Still glowing. Pulsing in Morse code. Message reads, insert coin to continue. Just then Velcro stumbled in, tangled in 3 dream catchers and a pair of sentient shoelaces who insisted on being called the twins. He looked disheveled, but not in the sexy way. I know what the hemmed one did, he croaked. It wasn't just the loom engine. He invoked the warranty clause. The room went silent. Elvira blinked. The what now? The warranty clause, Velcro repeated, eyes haunted. Buried deep in the fabric of reality. If invoked during activation of a world-altering artifact, like, say, a seamstone-powered pant, then within 7 lunar folds, the entire process can be reversed if the original receipt is presented. Gregory's wheels squeaked. Wait, he kept the receipt for his dark ritual. Velcro nodded solemnly. He laminated it. Elvira's hands went to her hips. So, you're telling me we won, but if he returns the universe within policy, he can get a full cosmic refund. And possibly store credit, Velcro added grimly. Across the sea of shrunk sweaters, in a fortress stitched from warranty slips and voided coupons, the hemmed one stood triumphant. Or rather, what remained of him. He was a loose thread now, a ghost of fashion past, but the receipt remained in perfect condition, preserved in a titanium Ziploc pouch. At his side stood his last loyal follower, Gus the discounted curtain. We still have time, Hemmed rasped. 7 lunar folds, and only 3 remain. He raised the receipt to the skies. The clouds parted with a familiar chime. Welcome to Cosmos Mart. Would you like to return your reality today? Yes, he bellowed. With vengeance. A great portal began to form, folding space like a napkin at a formal dinner for gods. A booming voice announced, "Refund in process. Please hold while we summon a dimensional supervisor." Gus offered a nervous cough. Should we have packed snacks? Back in Grindlewood, the ground began to ripple. Elvira stepped onto a floating ironing board and shouted into the wind. "Gregory. Velcro. We're going receipt hunting." Gregory emerged, now wearing battle paint made of sticker residue. Mounted and rolling, Velcro tightened his boots. If the hemmed one returns reality, we lose everything. The pants, the seamstone, even Casual Friday. Their destination, the Lost Return Desk, an ancient facility predating time where all metaphysical exchanges were recorded. Legends claimed it was guarded by Karen, the cosmic customer service representative, whose voice could strip hope from a unicorn. The journey was brutal. They traversed the corduroy chasm, whose ridges screamed with every step. They crossed the polyester prairie, a land so flammable that even thinking about fire made the grass whisper. Nope. At last they reached the return desk, a glowing, rotating kiosk perched atop an infinite escalator. Karen awaited. She wore a headset embedded into her skull, horn-rimmed glasses forged from complaint energy, and a name tag that simply read, "No refunds without manager approval." Karen didn't blink. "Welcome to the return hub. Name? Elvira Cabbagestalk," Elvira said cautiously. Karen frowned, tapping on a keyboard made of ancient ink and judgment. "Reason for visit? Someone's trying to reverse reality?" Karen sighed. "Are you the original purchaser?" "No." "Then I need the following: Form 773B, Universe Alteration Objection, 3 recent utility bills, and an interdimensional character reference." Gregory beeped. "Submitted under Clause 9, Emergency Stupid Apocalypse." Karen rolled her eyes and summoned a giant scroll made of dried paper towels. "You've got until the 3rd lunar fold. That's 17 hours. Tick-tock." The team exited the return hub with new intel. If they could locate the Void Manager, they could revoke the Hemmed One's refund attempt. But the Void Manager had long since retired to the realm of unfinished business. A pocket dimension made entirely of abandoned projects, unsent emails, and half-knitted scarves. Accessing the realm required a portal of pure regret. Gregory, without hesitation, said, "I never mailed that thank you card to my inventor." The air shimmered. A portal opened. "Wow," Elvira said. "That worked fast." Inside, the realm of unfinished business was eerily familiar. It looked like everyone's closet during spring cleaning. Half-labeled boxes, tangled headphones, journals with 2 pages used. The Void Manager sat on a beanbag made of failed ideas. He was small, round, and looked like someone's grandpa turned into a stress ball. "You wish to block a refund?" he asked. "Yes," Elvira said. "We saved reality. We don't want it rolled back because someone kept a receipt like a psycho." The Void Manager yawned. "Very well. But you must answer the 3 questions of procrastination." Gregory paled. Velcro whimpered. Elvira straightened up. "Ask." The Void Manager nodded. Question 1. Why do you leave laundry in the washer overnight? Elvira answered instantly. To feel something. Also, I forget. Question 2. What's the real reason you haven't fixed that one loose button? Because if I fix it, the shirt goes from lazy chic to trying too hard. The Void Manager grinned. Question 3. Why do you really wear pants? Elvira hesitated. Then, to remind the world that I choose effort, even when I could choose chaos. The Void Manager stood, moved to his typewriter, and smacked a giant red stamp. Refund denied. Elsewhere, as the hemmed one held up his receipt to the cosmic void, a system chime rang out. Refund request denied. Reason: applicant has unresolved thread larceny and lacks emotional authenticity. The portal fizzled. The receipt burst into lint. The hemmed one screamed into the void. Gus simply offered him a juice box. Back in Grindlewood, the skies cleared. The seamstone's glow became peaceful. A new prophecy formed in the clouds. Do not machine dry the future. Elvira looked around. Did we just beat bureaucracy with emotional honesty? Gregory beeped proudly. Velcro sniffled. I never thought I'd feel closure. But even as the land healed, somewhere far beyond, a lonely sock rolled across a shelf. And blinked. Let me know when you're ready for Section 8.